Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 195 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
What did you just do? Because you went,
No, just because with 95.
With 95, that's 195, thank you very much. But if this is the first time you're seeing us, listening to us, or hearing us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button, share the video with your friends, family, and everyone in between, as we are now on a quest to get to 10 million subscribers.
Hey, when do we start getting something from YouTube? Like a little plaque? Is that like 100,000 subs or something?
It's either 100 or 500, I forget.
Oh.
We got a little bit to go. We got a little bit to go. To go.
Meant to be.
It's meant to be.
So everybody that's currently subbed,
Find 10 people.
Another 1,000 people to sub. Thank you.
If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/twoplayercoop. Just like our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, and Vernon Slayton did, as well as our affiliate, James Solar. If you like merch, you can go to teespring.com/stores/twoplayercoop, just like some people did, but we can't see who or
Thank
whom.
you.
Ryan used me as an object.
Classic.
And whenever we get to twitching again, it will be at twitch.tv/2player_co-op. At some point, we will fix that.
So I looked the other day because I was like, wait a minute. We're also 2player_co-op on Twitter.
Correct. Yeah, it's correct.
2Player Co-op has like 2 followers and hasn't tweeted since like 2013.
You think we could buy it off him for $5?
I feel like somebody needs to just kick him off of Twitter. Be like, you're clearly not using this. But I don't know. Jack? Is that a question for Jack?
Yeah.
At Jack.
Yeah, at Jack. You Jack. Every week until we get out of this hellscape that we are in, I will tell everyone in a new subject. New subject.
No.
A new segment. Which is now 5 weeks old. Yeah. Wear your woohoo mask. Wahoo! Just do it. Stop being stupid. Yeah, him. And him. And my stomach, I guess, going... Just wear your mask. Just stop. I want football. I want life to be normal. I want basketball. I want baseball, even though my Yankees are not doing as great as they were last week. I just let's get out of this. We're all in this together. Stop being stupid. Don't be an idiot.
Keep it real, partner.
Gift to the needy. What do you think is the most important thing you ever learned?
Wear my mask.
No.
I don't know. If you're trying to prompt
an idiot were to do something, what would you do, Sean?
I think to myself, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
Be like Dwight Schrute. Thank you.
In some ways.
Only in that way, that one way. Dwight would wear a mask. No, he wouldn't.
No, he would just say, my body's
been building up immunity since before I was born.
When I was in the womb, my mother was pregnant with twins, and I resorbed the other one. So I now have the strength of a full-grown man and a small fetus. Which means I am immune to coronavirus.
Yeah, that's true. So don't be like Dwight, but just if an idiot would do something, don't do that thing. Thank you very much. Before we get into everything this week, Sean, I had to put this in its own section here. Holy crap, Rocksteady finally said something. And apparently they're making Suicide Squad versus versus Superman, or who knows, maybe it's Suicide Squad versus Justice League, which I think is one of the rumors we heard about forever ago. Clearly, Superman is not himself in the one image they released. Some people are like, what the hell? It's been 5 years, and this is like Jason Schreier. It's been 5 years, and this is how you reveal the game. No, this is how you tease the game. People have wanted your game forever. They're teasing it. You're going to see something more at DC Fandom. We already know we're going to see. Zack Snyder said we're going to get a new. Apparently, he was saying on Vero, which no one has except Zack Snyder. A new look at Justice League. I assume it's going to be the first actual trailer. Matt Reeves said something the other day about the Batman is going to be there. They've only shot for like 3 days before coronavirus happened, so it can't be much. Yeah, Pat Fleck will be on video. And then this is going to be there. And they're actually, The Rock was teasing that he's going to be there too.
Oh.
As Black Adam.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to be there, but they're going to show at least something about what Black Adam can be with The Rock. I do have to say, when I had heard rumors in the past about a Suicide Squad game, I was like, but something about just seeing that image with target locked, with the Suicide Squad target on the back of Superman's head, even though clearly he's being controlled by somebody, I was like, oh, okay, yep, I'm in. It's Rocksteady.
That was the first thing that popped into my mind, and we've had this talk on this podcast many times, is how do you make a good Superman game? He's too overpowered. And the answer is you make him the villain.
Right.
Like,
you do Injustice, but now make it... And I already feel like... So I'll play the beta next week when it's open to everybody, but I already feel like this game is just because of Rocksteady's pedigree, it's going to be better than Marvel's The Avengers. I just feel like it, because Rocksteady knows how to make games.
It depends on what is this game going to be. Is it going to be an Arkham game? Like, I mean, is it going to have that kind of... I don't really know what to expect.
So the rumors are saying that it's a games as a service title, kind of like Avengers, Anthem, Destiny, whatever, with online co-op, so you can play as different members of the squad. But I was seeing a lot of other tweets saying that it seems like this is still a ways away, that what we see on August 22nd is going to be very, very little. But I'm almost still more excited to see what WB Montreal is working on, which I still think might be coming out this fall. The Court of Owls game. The Gotham City Knights, or whatever whatever the rumors were saying it's going to be called.
Yeah, I mean, at least we're hearing something.
Yeah.
About time.
5 time.
About 5 time.
Sean.
Yes.
What's up?
Oh, you know. I was almost murdered today.
Mm-hmm.
So, funny story. So, Kevin and I and our dad, we were doing some, some good community work at a local school, volunteer work. Needed more supplies. Kevin's got a truck full of car seats, so he'd only take one more person. So he and our dad went to Lowe's. I held down the fort. They basically said, hey, if anybody comes to cause any trouble, just
Little
scare
did
them
we
off.
know.
So not like a few minutes after they leave, probably, this white minivan pulls in. Well, they drove by, and then they, slowed down and stopped. Like, they drove past the entrance. And I was like, this seems weird. And then they start backing up.
Oh, you didn't even tell me that part.
Yeah, well, that was the least of my concerns at that point. And then they pull in, and so I'm on my phone, but I'm doing one of these, so I'm looking at them, and I don't know if they can even see me enough to tell that I'm looking at them, but I can see that they're looking at me. And I think we're both, at the time, we were probably both just like, what
are you doing here? No, what are you doing here?
Yeah. And so they stop, and they're just kind of facing me, and it's like a standoff. And then eventually they start slowly inching towards me. And then they end up coming around and parking right next to me.
Right.
And I'm like, what is happening? Now I got to turn my head to look at them. I can't do the little phone thing. And I'm like, I don't want to, because their windows are all tinted, so I can't really see anything. Because it's like a minivan. You can't really, all the back windows are pretty tinted. I can't see them. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Then the side door opens. I'm like, I don't know. I've already locked my car door at this point. And guy gets out with a machete. The driver gets out and comes around, and all of a sudden he's got a chainsaw. And I'm like, holy crap, what is happening? So I texted Kevin and my dad, and I was like, so I know it sounds like I'm probably kidding, but I'm really not. These two guys, I don't know, just showed up with machetes and chainsaws in hand. I don't know what's going on. Send help. Long story short, well, the other thing that was funny, we had been doing work, so my shoes were all muddy. So I don't want my muddy shoes and my nice car, so I took them off, left them outside. So I'm like, even if I had to run right now, I got no shoes on. I was in a rough situation. Long story short, they were just there to
do yard work.
Yeah, to cut trees and whatever. But in hindsight, it kind of reminded me of The Office when
the IT
guy shows up and Michael freaks out and he's like, "Oh, it's just the IT guy." But yeah, so I really wasn't almost murdered, but for a second there, I thought that might be the end of me.
I can understand why,
but yeah,
luckily he's here, or there would be no podcast.
Or it'd be a very somber episode.
We're like, well, I'm here by myself. Sean was hacked to death by a machete and then cut up by a chainsaw. Oh, God. Sean, what have you been playing this week?
I haven't really... Well, no. I played...
That's all
Fall,
I played. Fall Guys?
Fall Guys. I was going to say Fallout. That's not right. I played Fall Guys. It's fun. I've now gone like 2 or 3 days without playing it. It does get kind of old. I still have a good time when I play it, but I need more events.
Yeah.
But that's it. I feel like I'm kind of in a lull right now.
Well, that's me too. That's why I have not gone back to Ghost. The only thing I played this week was Fall Guys, and I still haven't won one. If you saw my video on Twitter and Sean's video, we both had like the exact same thing happen to us, where we were both like a millisecond away from getting the crown.
The controls of that game really, it's my biggest problem with it. I mean, it'd be nice if I could invert, but I can get by without it. But this whole grabbing thing, people are grabbing my tail or whatever from like, I don't know,
5 feet away.
The equivalent of like 2 body lengths of my little Fall Guy. And they just snatch it off me. Now, I don't know if that's like an online quirk where on their screen they were actually right next to me, but on mine it just looks like they're like I'm running away from them and they're 2 Fall Guy lengths behind me and they just pull it off me and then run away. Meanwhile, I'm hitting like R2, R2, R2. I'm like touching the guy and I'm like R2, 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 and nothing happens and he won't grab it and just stuff like that. It's not. I won't say it's not fun for me, but my God, it takes away from the game so much.
So one of the last games I played of this, I got to like the 4th round, I think it was, in this season or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I was doing the tail game, but it was the non-team version. It was just you have
like there's a handful of people.
Yes.
And whoever's got the tails.
I started with the tail. I kept the tail until there was 3 seconds left, and then somebody's behind me. I'm like, no, and then I tripped over something or whatever. He, again, like you were saying, he felt like he was 2 or 3 lengths away from me. It's just like all of a sudden I fall, and it's like, boom, you lost your tail, and time expires. I'm like,
yeah. I don't. The grabbing, it doesn't work for me. And I know since you have to hit R2 to grab the crown at the end. I'm like, one of these times I am going to be the first one there, and I'm going to jump and hit R2, and he's not going to grab it, and then I'll really be done with the game. But I can't deal with these controls, and I don't see anybody else talking about it. No. So I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong or what.
I watched
it doesn't grab.
I watched a couple of other Let's Plays of it. I saw Vanos, a channel I've been subscribed to for a few years now, mostly because of GTA and Gmod and stuff, but they were playing Fall Guys over the weekend, and they were doing random like jumps, either not jumping or jumping to, or like we were.
I've gotten the jumps down for the most part, but
you have to anticipate it, and it's so stupid that it doesn't just jump when you want it to jump.
Yeah. Like the game's chaotic enough,
right?
Just by its very nature. Like you don't need to,
spruce it up with
add a little chaos just by making the controls more difficult than they need to be. I don't know. It's getting on my nerves, but
the only level that I despise. So I think I've seen every level now, except I still haven't seen the soccer level. I played Seesaw a couple times. That
one's
sucks.
tough. If you're not in the front row,
it sucks.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because if you're in the front, you can just go bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. But if you're behind and it's going like this, and then this one's doing it's impossible. But the slime climb, if I get to that, I'm like, I should just exit now because I cannot get past. Like, you go forward, you go up, you go this way, you go back this way, and there's like 3 pillars that are trying to push you down. I can get past those, but when you turn around and start going back up, that's the thing where like the whole thing is conveyor belts with bouncy things in the middle of it.
I basically just walk at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
So I walk forward and right, and it's just enough to basically combat the conveyor belt. So you end up just walking straight, like along the conveyor belt, and then you just got to tweak a little more right, a little more up to like change your speed whenever you're going to be close to one of the bumpers.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that part. There was one time, I've only had it happen once, but the little, I think it's 2 and then 1, the little round things you got to like balance on to get across.
I never made it that far. I hate that level.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's one time, it's the same thing that's at the beginning of
the one where you're like just
Hit Parade, I think. I actually did make it across that for the first time. But I couldn't make it across those. This one time I was playing that level, it's like it was covered in ice. And I would jump and hit the center, and then I just like fall off every time, and the slime caught up and killed me. Every other time I've been there, I can just walk across it like nothing. But there's just weird little quirks in this game that are getting on my nerves. But I think it's definitely a cool idea. It's a lot of fun. But I need more events, or else it's just going to...
Yeah, even the last time I played a couple nights ago, I was just like, it seems like every time I started over again, it was the Whirling Derby or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm good at this level, I guess, but like, can I get some kind of variety?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, but I don't think it's the next Rocket League. I really wonder what kind of staying power this game has. If they don't add like 5 new events every few months or something, like once a quarter, add 4 or 5 new events, something like that. They've got to do something like that to keep people engaged. I'm glad that it was free on PS, quote unquote, free with PS Plus.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's fun. It was fun for a Let's Play. We played for an hour, and I whittled it down to 37 minutes. It was so funny. I think the next day it was when I actually, uploaded it to the computer to start editing it. I was like, oh my God, we played for an hour. We were both like, wait, really? Like it did fly by.
Yeah.
The other thing is I wonder how much fun this game actually is, because originally we were thinking about doing Let's Plays remotely and just getting into the same game and playing. I think we made the right decision by just playing it locally and switching the controller around. I don't know. You can't see who's in your game unless you turn everybody's name on, and I don't want to do that. So it's like I don't know what character is Sean unless.
But I think if they're actually in your party, I think it shows the little triangle like you have.
Okay.
Now, unless you know what outfit I'm wearing,
right,
you won't know that it's me versus somebody else that's in our party without turning the names on. But
okay,
I would like to try that at one point if a couple people out there want to. Do a party some night and like have a full, because you can only have 4 people. Do 4 people, multiplayer online, whatever. I think that could be fun, but I'm not over the game because I've really got nothing else to play now. So whenever I just feel like playing something, it's Fall Guys, just because. But I feel like as soon as something else comes along, I'll probably move on.
Yeah, but
it's cool. It's fun.
With me, it's like I still really like Ghost, but I haven't played it now in like a week and a half. It's a combination of. I was hoping Fall Guys was going to be that palate cleanser, and it was for a little bit. But again, like we said, it gets repetitive kind of quickly. But also, it's like the sports are back. The sports, like baseball's back, basketball's back,
Backstreet's back.
All right. There's most nights if I'm just like tired, which I've been because work has been crazy the last couple of weeks, getting ready for a big thing here, big things popping. And then Jess obviously is working her patukas off. You're pontificating out of your tukas. Is that what it was? Not a patukas, a tukas. She's working her tukas off. She's pontificating out of her tukas. And it's just like most nights I'm like, man, like. I know I like Ghost, but I'm like 4 or 5 hours in. I know I've probably got another 30 to 35 in this, and I'm like, I just don't have the will. I really think Last of Us 2 broke me, is what it is. Like, it broke. That's going to come through. Did you file it?
I think it's some of that foam stuff, and it's on my fingernail, and it's like...
Oh, by the way, when we posted posts today, when we put up posts, we didn't use concrete, we used foam.
Yes.
It was
I don't even know what that stuff is called.
I looked at the bag and I sent it to Jess. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. It says fence post
mix.
Or that's all it was called. Yeah. But yeah, I think The Last of Us has just like broken my brain. I think I will get back to Ghost because really between now and then, unless Nintendo's just like Axiom Verge is out next week, then I'll be like, okay, that's what I need. That. It's supposed to be out this year, or the Mario Collection, which still, come on, Nintendo. I will get to Ghost at some point. I will pick it back up and I'll be like, yes, let's go. I'm just in such a weird mood right now. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's partially video games, but I think it's also just life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's life, work, whatever. But like we've got our little mini vacation thing here in another week and a half. No, week and a half. It's one full week, and then we leave the next Thursday. So we got to figure out. That would be 197. So I don't know if we record. I don't know. We can figure it out.
Well, it doesn't matter. We can do that Sunday night or Monday, whenever you get back. It's fine. Tuesday, whatever.
Like I was talking to Brittany earlier. I'm like, this vacation is at the perfect time because I just feel like I'm at like this breaking point with work, and I'm just like, oh God, like I can't. Like if we didn't have this vacation plan, I'd be to the point where I'm like, I'm going to take a few days off and just do nothing. Like, I just need a break. So, I don't know. I think I need to just get away for a little bit, clear my mind, and then when I come back, I'll be ready. I mean, I still don't know what I'll play then, but I don't know.
You got Uncharted 4.
I do, but God, that just seems like such a... I need another game that I'm not going to be like, this game is too long. And it sounds like... No matter how good it is, I get the feeling I'm going to be like, this game is too long. Like Last of Us 2 was a good game. It's not like it was bad, but it was too long.
Yeah, but Uncharted 4 is like 10 to 12 hours shorter than that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I need to play.
Maybe that's what I need you to play that, so I'll play that
so
again.
That you play it. So
and that'll
get
me like, yay,
Ghost.
Video games again. Until Watch Dogs comes out. God, I hope Axiom Verge is coming out soon. Oh, that'd be so cool. But yeah, that's all I played this week.
Yeah, not much.
Sean.
Yes.
Want to get news of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, sir. This past week, Sony, PlayStation of America Entertainment in Japan and Europe. How's your rings?
I don't know if it's just because I'm tall. It can't be. But I don't get many steps. And I don't know if my watch
way more
doesn't...
steps when I use my Fitbit than I do my Apple Watch.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
So it's something about the way they calculate them, yeah.
This says, even after all the work we were doing, which granted wasn't a lot of walking per se, but I feel like I would have done a lot of stuff that should have registered as steps. And there was some just walking around. I got 4,500 steps today.
I have 11,367.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I was out doing
you need
yard
to calibrate
work.
it like you need like long golf clubs. You need a long stride for your Apple Watch.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
So State of Play was this past week. Sony put everybody's expectations in check, which I'm glad they did.
Rightly so.
Yes. But let's go through everything that happened at the State of Play. Kotaku gives a nice write-up of everything. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is a direct sequel to Crash Bandicoot Warped. It's the first new game in the series in over a decade, and it will give you the ability to play through the entire adventure with Crash's younger sister, Coco. Specific moments in the game will also put you in control of antagonists Neocortex and Dingodile.
Dingodile?
What is his name, Mo? Is that how you say? I don't know how you say his name.
It's Dingodile. He's like an Australian crocodile.
Oi.
Oi.
Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, heads to PlayStation on October 2nd. Hitman 3, it was announced that it will include a VR mode with missions from previous games in the trilogy. Will include a VR mode. They wrote this up wrong. Basically, what they said is Hitman 3, as well as Hitman 1 and 2, will be getting PSVR support when it comes to January. Cool. I hope it's better than 2 because I returned it. Thank you, Amazon, for giving me my money back. Braid Anniversary Edition is coming in early 2021. This classic game has been, quote, hand repainted, end quote, and will feature revamped animations and music as well as developer commentary. The developers are planning to release simultaneously on PS4, 5, Xbox Own, Xbone, Xbox Series X, Switch, Windows, Mac, and Linux. I screwed that up. Trying to make fun of them. I screwed up myself. The Pathless was announced. It's an open-world adventure game set in a vast forest. It focuses on fluid, dynamic movement that combines archery and acrobatic maneuvers. Is that
how the Brits spell it?
Maybe. The main character also has an eagle companion that can help her fly and glide. It comes out later this year, and yes, you can pet the eagle. Spelunky 2 is more Spelunky. This is my exact thought. Ever since this game got announced, I was like, the whole point of Spelunky is that you don't need a Spelunky 2. Like, I don't know why Spelunky 2 is happening. People that are excited for it, cool. I played Spelunky a little bit. It's just not for me. Like, the procedurally generated die and then start over and do it again, and it's... I just don't know what you gain by making a sequel to Spelunky when Spelunky, every game is a new game of Spelunky.
See, I don't understand. I don't really know what it is. I've never played it. It came up on the Nerd 901 podcast, but I think it was Ernie said the same thing that I thought too until he said it, that he used to think it was a Metroidvania, and it's not. I thought it was too.
No, it's like a rogue.
I guess it's not.
It's a roguelike or
See,
roguelite.
I don't even, what is
whatever.
Rogue?
You die.
Is there a game called Rogue?
No. Rogue Legacy. I think it might be Rogue Legacy.
Okay, I'm like, oh, this is a roguelike. What is Rogue? That I don't know. That
you die
me, but.
And you start over from the beginning. And
this
usually
sounds like
it's
a mobile
procedurally
game.
generated.
It sounds like a mobile, like, never-ending game. Like, you just go until you die, and then you start. I don't know. It just seems weird. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I think it was... I'm pretty sure I have it. It must have been a PS Plus game at some point. But I think I played it for like a couple rounds. I was like, I don't like this. I would rather have a game that's like got levels, and I would just play that. But I guess people are happy. It's coming on September 15th, so we got a release date for that. Genshin Impact is scheduled for a fall release on PS4. This is like anime Breath of the Wild, and it actually looks pretty cool.
It looks beautiful. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but
right.
It looks beautiful.
Aeon Must Die is coming out next year. We're not going to talk anything else about that because this is the game, I believe, that the developers, after the trailer went live, they were like, hey, mother effers, you stole our game. Yeah. Like, it's an indie studio where literally everybody at the studio quit like a week before, and they are saying that the people at the company stole the game from them. It is freaking wild.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. No matter what that game looks like, I feel like nobody should play it because of what's happened to all those people working on it.
Yeah, that's messed up.
And I don't know how to say this. Anno Mutationum, I guess, heads to play PS4 in December. And it's about Mutationum.
I love that. Mutationum.
We got our first look at gameplay for Bugsnax. And I'm just going to have a hot take right here. Maybe I'm the only person in the world. I have been and am still so sick of this game because it has a cool song and like fever dream, like fruit hand elbow things that like all of a sudden this is game of the year. What the hell are we talking about? Like, I am just, if you're excited for this game, cool. Me seeing this gameplay trailer, seeing the original trailer, I'm just like, I don't get it and I'm sick of it.
This game to me is like the Kardashians, where they're basically, it's becoming so popular and stuff just because it's popular. Like, everybody's talking about it, so everybody's talking about it. And it's just like, it doesn't look, I mean, we don't know anything about it. Like, maybe it's going to end up cool. I don't know. But
I guess
I'm with you.
I'm just
something
like,
sick of hearing about it. Like,
it's Pokemon Snap with fruit bugs. Like, I don't... If this game didn't have that stupid song, no one would be talking about it.
Probably, yeah.
Jump Up Superstar. Best part of Odyssey.
Yep.
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Anyways, that's enough about Bugsnax. I'm sick of it. I will not play it. If they want to send us a code, I will. I'm not going to pay for it. Star Wars Vader Immortal is coming to PSVR on August 25th. I feel like you should at least look into that because it looks pretty cool.
It looks cool. I'm sure it's probably better, but I feel like, I don't know. I just get Iron Man vibes. Like Iron Man, like playing as Iron Man should be fun. I didn't really find it very fun. This game, it also seems like it should
many
be fun.
people didn't. I feel like PSVR is just going to die.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more excited about Hitman.
Yeah,
because I've never played it. I've missed out on it. I'm like, maybe VR would be a cool way to do it, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Control's second DLC expansion, will be available on August 27th. Apparently has some kind of a crossover with Alan Wake, so that's cool. Auto Chess is coming to PS4 on October 31st. Somebody's talking about this on ESPN Radio the other day. Do we think Halloween's going to be canceled this year?
I mean, Halloween's all about wearing masks, right?
Well,
so
okay.
I don't think it will be.
I think it's going to be like city by city. But even then, like, are you really going to, like, what are you going to do, arrest a kid for going and...
Right. I mean, I think it's not going to be normal Halloween, but I'm sure it will still happen in some shape or form.
Well, if it doesn't, you can play Auto Chess. Sign-hopping platformer Pedestrian will be available on PlayStation 4 in January. This one looks amazing, they said. This is like...
They look cool.
Puzzle platformer.
Different, yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Hood, not to be confused with Robin Hood, Outlaws and Legends, is a medieval PS5 game launching in 2021. That's a dumb way to put it. It's based on Robin Hood. I don't know that it's like in name, but it's Robin Hood without the name.
Right.
It's a 4v4 that I won't play. Temtem, the popular Pokemon clone, which
do we need more Pokemon clones?
Is heading to PS5 next year. Nothing else to say there. Like, no, just play Pokemon.
Right. I don't know who is into the idea of Pokemon, but it's like, well, I don't like Pokemon. Pokemon's too mainstream. Give me Digimon or that one or that other one that Nintendo released or showed. I don't know. Like,
oh, that thing was horrible. When I thought we were going to get a Metroid game, that POS.
Yeah, that one. Like, who is into these games that doesn't just want Pokemon? I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't either. And then last but also least, new PS5 footage of Godfall was revealed. And, yeah, it's out this holiday season. I will say, even though they told us there was going to be no PS5, what do they say, hardware or business announcements, I think is what they called it. Sorry, I've got ice in my mouth. I got cotton mouth, and I'm running out of water. Because there's rumors going around, like Bloomberg reported on, that we are going to have a PS5 event later this month that we assume will announce everything. I thought they were going to say, wait, we have one more thing. And it was just going to be 2 weeks from today, we're going to tell you the date, the price, everything, pre-order info, all the stuff for PS5. And they didn't. So that's my fault when they said, we're not talking about the PS5. We're going to give you some updates on PS5 games. It's my fault, but I really thought they were going to close it by saying, and tune in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever, and we're going to tell you everything about PS5.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything at all, and I hadn't even thought about it that way, but to me that seems reasonable to think might happen. Like, we're not going to talk about PS5,
but we're going to tell you
we're going to talk about when we're going to talk about, but yeah, we didn't even get that.
Because they've also said, like, look, we're not going to blindside you with pre-orders. You know, we're going to give you plenty of advance notice to get your Wario 64 notifications and everything ready. So I just was hoping for it, but it didn't happen. What'd you think about the state of play?
I mean, to me it was, I would say it's underwhelming, but I didn't really expect anything out of it anyway, so it was just kind of whelming. I don't know. I was just, I don't really care about anything they showed, and I wasn't really expecting to. So
I will say Crash looked cool. I still don't think it's
better
a $60
than I
game.
thought it would, but it's still Crash. At
it
the end of the day,
feels
it's
like
still
a double
Crash.
A game.
It feels very dated. I don't know. It looks cool, but just give me Ratchet.
Yeah. Yes. Some other news here, though, not associated with the state of play. Sony announced this week that the PS4 has now sold over 112 million consoles. Crazy.
Wow.
They now have 45 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, up from 41.5 in March. So they've gained 3.5 million in 3 months.
I mean, I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're at 45 million. How long has PS Plus been a thing? They're probably averaging about $1 million a month anyway. Like, has PS Plus existed for more than 4.5 years? I don't know.
It's existed since 2010, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it didn't really kick into gear until late in the PS3 life cycle into PS4 when they started doing the free games. And then
I just feel like for as long as it's been a thing, and they've gone up 3.5 million in, 5 months or whatever, like, I don't know. That kind of seems like right.
Well, no. They went up in 3 months. So these are all the numbers at the end of their Q1, which is the end of June. Yeah.
So $1 million a month. I mean, I guess that's good. Yeah.
And like I said, Bloomberg is reporting there will be a PS5 announcement coming later in August. Also, Sony announced their best Q1 ever with $5.6 billion in revenue in Q1, March to January or June. Thank you, coronavirus. Again, like I said, like we're going to talk about some more sales results here in a little bit. Like video game companies are making out like bandits because of this stupid ass pandemic.
But it's weird, like. For every person who's like, well, I can't do anything else, I might as well play some new video games, you'd think there'd be just as many people who are like, I cannot afford to play video games right now. Like, I'm kind of shocked. I would expect them to be a little higher, but not their best quarter ever. That's shocking to me. But
well, out of that $5.6 billion in revenue, digital games and DLC/add-ons accounted for $3.7 billion out of 5.6. Digital's the way of the future. Y'all keep buying your digital games so I can get my disc drive PS5, please, in November.
Yep.
Any thoughts on anything else there, Shawnee?
Nah.
I don't know why I said Shawnee. All right. Next up, Sony also gave some... What?
Blazers won.
Of course. I'm sure Dame went for like 50 after everything that happened in his last game. This comes from the PlayStation blog, but they gave some updates on PlayStation 4 accessories and their compatibilities with the 5. In our June Future of Gaming, I cannot believe that was 2 months ago. Future Gaming was 2 months ago. That was in June.
Wow.
Wow. Wahoo! We announced an array of PlayStation 5 peripherals and accessories that will be launching this holiday season.
You nailed it.
Wow! That was awesome. Well, I was off by one. He went for 51. But we know that many of you are also wondering if and how existing PS4 peripherals are compatible with the next-gen system. Today, we're happy to share a brief FAQ, not FAQ, that will answer some of your questions. Which existing PS4 peripherals/accessories will work on PS5? Specialty peripherals, such as officially licensed racing wheels, arcade sticks, and flight sticks, will work with PS5 games and supported PS4 games. Are you happy about your fight stick?
Yes.
Okay. The Platinum and Gold wahoo, wireless headsets, as well as third-party headsets that connect via USB port or audio jack, will work on PS5. The Headset Companion app is not compatible with PS5. I downloaded that thing on PS4 when I got my Platinum headset, and I was like, what the hell is the point of this thing? I just want to turn on. It sounds great.
What is the point? Like, what is it supposed to do?
You can go into the Companion app, and it's not an app on your phone. It's an app on the PlayStation.
Oh.
And there's certain profiles, like if you play Uncharted 4 with this headset, click this profile, and Uncharted 4 will sound the best that it can sound. But other than that, I'm like, it sounds great the way it is. I'm good. But my headset will work. The DualShock 4 wireless controller and PlayStation officially licensed third-party gamepad controllers will work with supported PS4 games. Both the PS Move motion controllers and the PlayStation VR aim controller. Yeah, because it's just a piece of plastic that you put your Move controller in. Of course it's good. If the Move controller works, the aim's going to work. Will work with supported PSVR games on PS5. Please note, not all PlayStation officially licensed or third-party peripherals accessories may work on PS5. We recommend checking with the manufacturer to confirm whether blah, 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 blah. Will the DualShock 4 work with PS5 games? No. We believe the PS5 games should take advantage of the new capabilities and features we're bringing to the platform, including the features of DualSense wireless controller. They didn't say they just said of DualSense wireless controller. Is the PlayStation camera compatible? Yeah, and we're going to send out an adapter for it. Okay. This has been weird to watch. I get why people are upset. And I think a lot of like like disabled gamers or handicapped gamers are upset because they've figured out ways to make the DualShock 4 work for them to play games on the PlayStation 4 that they're not sure they're going to be able to do with the DualSense. So I get that. But if you are just like a normal gamer dude, like I get it. Like I wish, because I've got 3 or 4 DualShock 4s. It'd be cool if they worked with the PlayStation 5. But I don't really know why. Like the DualShock 3 didn't work with the PlayStation 4. The DualShock 2 didn't work with the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I don't understand why
the Nintendo
even
controller
this
didn't work with the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo controller didn't work with the N64. The N64 controller didn't work with the GameCube. This has never
been a thing before.
Yeah, it's like
I think PS1 worked on PS2, but that was basically the dual. Like,
if it was a dual analog stick, yeah.
But like this has never been a thing before. Why was
that's
this
what I'm
expected?
Saying. There is such a Microsoft is consumer friendly, even though they've lied and misled, as we've covered in the past few weeks, about a lot of things. And Sony is the opposite of that. So people are like, and we're going to talk about it next too, Sony sucks. This is horrible that the DualShock 4 doesn't work. And I guess I'm assuming that the Xbox One controller will work on the Series X. I don't know that we've heard that or haven't heard that. But the way people are reporting on this, I have to assume that it does. Obviously, I'm not as tuned into Xbox as I am PlayStation. But, like, you can't play like the Genesis like the Master System controller did not work on the Genesis. The Genesis 3 or 6 button did not work on the Saturn. I almost said 32X. The Saturn controller
the Genesis
didn't work.
Controllers worked on 32X.
Well, yeah, because
and
it
Sega CD.
Because it was a video game that you plugged in the top of it or on the bottom of it. The Saturn controller didn't work on the Dreamcast, and
the
then
Genesis
RIP,
controller worked on the Nomad
because it was a Genesis. Like I don't. It's the way I've seen people reporting on this. It's so odd how everyone is saying that Sony is so anti-consumer. They've made it very clear that they believe in generations of consoles. I don't know why this is surprising to everybody. I do kind of hate it, but I'm not going to be like I'm not buying a PS5 now because of this.
Yeah, I don't get why this was an expectation. I don't get all the hate for it. Now, I'm in a little bit of a different situation because anything I play on my PlayStation 5, day one,
please,
and through day infinity and beyond, I'm playing by myself. Brittany doesn't play with me. Maybe right. Kira will someday, but not anytime soon. Like, I only need one controller, and the PS5 is going to come with one controller.
Okay.
So now I've got 2 DualShock 4s, which is nice because I always keep one on the charging stand.
Yeah.
So if I forget to charge this one and it dies, I grab the other one, put it on. So I've always got it. So it's nice to have a spare. Would I buy a spare DualSense? Maybe someday.
Not if
if
they're $70 or
like,
$80, like a lot of people are saying. Yeah.
So I don't know. Do I wish the DualShock 4 worked on the PS5? Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect it to.
Yep.
It doesn't change my mind about anything. Like, I don't care. I don't understand the big fuss about this.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like you said, you couldn't use the 3 on the 4, you couldn't use the 2 on the 3, whatever. And I think this is different, but maybe not. Back when the 3s were actually backwards compatible, could you use a DualShock 2 on a PS3 to play PS2 games?
No.
So at least it's kind of compatible. You're getting more than you've ever gotten out of a PlayStation console before anyway.
Yeah.
So you're... It's so stupid. I don't understand why people are so upset. And then it's also just equally as annoying that all the Xbox fanboys are like, oh, you can't even use... Like, no, I don't understand why anybody cares. Like,
go get your AA batteries and just shut up.
I don't know. I'm
kidding.
I don't understand.
The only way that I understand anything, again, is when it comes to like able gamers and everything they do for disabled gamers and stuff. If there is something that I'm not aware of, and again, Xbox is far and away the leader there when it comes to the adaptive controller. It's not even close. So if there's something that I'm missing when it comes to the DualShock 4 and then being able to use that on the 5, I get that. But for the standard gamer, I don't know what you I really don't know what you expected. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, on the PlayStation 5 website, you can get 360-degree views of all the peripherals if you really want to look at what that media remote looks like in 360, or the headsets that they look like headset. Like, what are we talking? What? And again, I'm a Sony fanboy, but even I saw this and I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what, who? I could understand wanting to see the DualSense in 360. Confirmed, even though I thought this was confirmed with Jeff Keighley when he went hands-on a few weeks ago, that it didn't have back buttons. I'm pretty sure he showed the back of it there, unless I just misremembered this, like Roger Clemens. Anything else? What do I want to see? The PlayStation 5 camera. Ooh, look at that cord. Like, or the media remote or the charging stand. I'm like, yep, I plug one in there and I plug one in there. What else am I supposed to do with this thing? Yeah. I just think it's funny. But the one thing that was cool is the DualSense will be getting software updates because that was in the fine print of the website.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Next up, let's talk about more Sony being anti-consumer, Sean.
Let's do it.
Spider-Man is an exclusive to the Avengers on PS4 and 5 coming in early 2021. And I want to read you the quote that somebody had about this because it is phenomenal. Who is this from? Studio co-head Scott Amos said this in an interview with comicbook.com. This is the reason he gives as to why Spider-Man is an exclusive on PlayStation. Have you read this?
No.
You're going to need to concentrate. I'm not joking. So, the beauty of Spider-Man and what Spider-Man represents as a character and as a world is, again, it comes back to the relationship with PlayStation and Marvel. We happen to be... Once you can execute and deliver, when it comes down to choices of where and what Spider-Man can be, that's a relationship question that PlayStation absolutely has the rights to. That, as you guys know, with Sony's ownership there, and Marvel, with Sony saying, hey, this is something we can do. This is something we can do on this platform. And so, what do we do as creators is say, quote, this is an opportunity that we can make something unique and fun and awesome that we all... You just talked about Black Widow, and to be able to have that experience. So we love the idea of being able to bring this character to the PlayStation players. But I really do think people will look at this and say, yeah, okay, we get that. We can understand the business behind that. But in general, we're making this game for everybody. Do you understand why Spider-Man is coming to PlayStation as an exclusive? What the hell? Do you want to look at this in real, like, black and white?
No, I don't.
Holy crap.
I mean, we talked about this a little bit on Nerd 901 podcast, but again, as a Sony fanboy, I'm still not entirely sold on this game to begin with. But if Spider-Man's going to be exclusive somewhere, am I glad it's on the PlayStation? Yeah. It's not going to make or break my decision to get this game. Like, I in the end, I don't really care, but, like, hello, Sony, Spider-Man, like, it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know. I can understand if you're not a PlayStation owner that you might be upset about it, but...
Yeah.
And it's Spider-Man. I mean, it's a big... it's not like...
It's not like it's Silver Surfer or something. Not even Silver Surfer. Who am I thinking of? Iceman. That's Top Gun. What the hell am I thinking of? Somebody that sucks as a Marvel guy.
I don't know. They're all pretty good.
Okay. They're not all
I get what
good.
you're saying. Like, it's Spider-Man.
It's freaking Spider-Man.
Like Hawkeye. Yeah. If Hawkeye was
Xbox exclusive, I'd be like, I don't care.
So it does kind of suck, and I can see people being upset that Spider-Man is exclusive. But, and I don't know the exact details of the relationship. I don't know if Sony, obviously Sony doesn't like own Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Film, the film rights or whatever it is. But clearly, yeah, there's some kind of special relationship there. I don't know. I just don't see the big deal.
When this game was first announced, honestly, I didn't even know until
basically when that came out, that Spider-Man was even in the game. Like, I didn't know that was. I
don't
wasn't
think
expecting him
did. No,
to be in
that's
it
not on you. Yeah.
to begin with. So it's not like they teased him and then all of a sudden, oh, but you need to be on PlayStation to play as him. Like, it's an added bonus for Sony. Xbox could do the same thing. I mean, like...
By the way, let me just say, this comes from Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, I think both of which were responsible for the Tomb Raider being a timed exclusive for a year on Xbone before it could come to PS4. So...
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody would be surprised about this. I really don't care. I will try the beta next weekend when it's available to everybody. I'm not going to pre-order this game, so we haven't. Obviously, we talked about what we've been playing. I'll play it next week, and I'll give it a try before we podcast. But like, I'm not at all. I see some people that the last trailer really got them like, okay, now I'm in. And I'm just like, this still looks like the same game. And I just, if you're hyped, great. Like, but I want to play this game, and at this point I'm like, I am still no.
My biggest concern is that it kind of reminds me, obviously not in graphics and presentation, whatever, but in gameplay, it kind of reminds me of like all the Lego games, specifically like the Lego Avengers game or Lego whatever, Lego Marvel games, where it's just like, and I know it's not like that, but it just seems like kind of a generic, like, it's kind of like a beat 'em up. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't, I don't know. I definitely am interested in playing the beta, but I'm still very far from being sold. There's just something about it. I'm over, like, the character models and whatnot. You've got top-notch voice acting talent. Like, this, and it's the freaking Avengers.
Right.
Like, this should work. So what does that say if
they screwed up?
Well, but it's just like, what does that say about your game? And I don't think it's just us. I think a lot of people are on this game. And like, this is the freaking Avengers with this like star-studded voice acting cast made by Square Enix. Like, you should not be able to screw this up. And yet, as of right now, everybody's kind of just, I don't know.
Well, yeah, so, even when I was reading some of the, before the beta started for people that pre-ordered on Friday, when I was reading some of the media stuff, either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I can't remember what it was, that played the beta early, it was all over the place. Some people were over the moon. Some people were like, this game sucks. So
I 110% feel like I'm much more likely to think this game sucks than this game is unbelievable. I think there's a very real chance I could be like, this is terrible. And a very slight chance, not a very slight chance, but a much smaller chance that I'm going to be like, this game's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's no part of me that thinks that by playing the beta, I'm going to be like, holy crap, this game is unreal. When does it come out? I can't wait. Like, I feel like there's no way.
Yeah.
The beta is much more likely to make me decide to pass than it is to make me think that I want it. I just feel like the best reasonable case is that I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun, and that's about it. And I don't know that that's enough for me to get it. No. So we'll see.
Yep, we're gonna give it a try. We will report back next week. Also, when it comes to exclusives, PlayStation owners are getting 30-day exclusive access to legendary outfits, emotes, and takedowns. PS Plus subscribers will get a free bundle, which comes with a rare outfit, a nameplate, and 100 coins for each hero.
Ooh.
Oh, my. And the last item on the news list, the Switch and Animal Crossing are absolutely freaking killing it, and it is insane. This comes from IGN. Nintendo's first quarter results for its fiscal year ending March 2021 have revealed some impressive details, including that freaking Animal Crossing's, I editorialized there, New Horizons has sold over 22 million copies, that the Switch has sold over 61 million units, and that Nintendo's net profits year on year have grown by over 500%. I think the number is actually like 574% year over year.
Good Lord.
Animal Crossing's New Horizon is at 22.4 million units, has become the second best-selling Nintendo Switch game behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 26.74 million. It has surpassed both Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Breath of the Wild, which have sold 19.99 million, just call it 20 million for Smash, and 18.6 million respectively. Animal Crossing New Horizons was so popular from April to June that it was played on over 50% of all Switch systems sold during that period. So not all Switches, but if you bought one then, you were probably buying it to play this stupid game.
I'm kind of shocked that's not higher than 50%.
I would think it was like 75
Yeah.
on the first day of purchase. Furthermore, Animal Crossing New Horizons accounted for over 40% of overall sell-through for Nintendo titles in Japan, the US, and Europe for that same time. So 40% of the games sold in that 3-month period were freaking Animal Crossing. I know this is going to win so many games of the year at the end of this year, and I'm just going to have to tune it out and not let it bother me. Ring Fit Adventure, which had a product shortage issue from the beginning in March, has sold over 4 million copies globally. This was reflected in July 2020 NPD that saw Ring Fit jump from number 835 to number 7 on the best-selling list as the stock increased.
Wow.
Another interesting note is that digital sales accounted for 55.6% of total software sales on Nintendo's dedicated video game platforms. The success of the Switch's software has mirrored the console by itself, which has now sold 61.44 million units, putting it only slightly behind the NES's total of 61.91 million units. In this quarter, 3.05 million Nintendo Switch systems were sold, and 2.62 Nintendo Switch Lite systems were sold. That totals 5.68 million Switch consoles sold in that time frame, which is a 166% increase year on year. All these highlights tell the story of Nintendo's net profit reaching 106.4 billion yen, around to 1.008 billion USD, a 576.2% increase year on year from fiscal year 2020 quarter 1, 16. As for what the future holds for Nintendo, we don't know too much of its plans besides some undated games, including Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4. Where's the Direct? I will say, I hate Animal Crossing.
So that 60,
let me get that out of the way.
60 whatever million.
61.4.
Is that including Switch Lites?
Yes, that's total.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like been
three
and a half. I would be curious what PS4 was at the same time in. But I mean, that's pretty impressive. Go Nintendo. That's awesome.
I'm so happy that they're back.
Yeah.
I hate Animal Crossing. I don't want anything to do with it. I do not care. I'm just completely over it. But I'm happy. Like, clearly we now know that Nintendo, and we've known this for ever since the Switch launched, honestly, they're not getting out of the hardware game, and that's good for everybody.
And that's the thing. Like, I tried Animal Crossing. It's not for me. I'm pretty much to the point where, like, I don't care about Animal Crossing. I don't care about Pokemon. There's probably a lot of... I don't really care about Smash Brothers. But I'm glad that all these games are selling like gangbusters, because in the end it means
more
it's
Mario,
good
more
for
Zelda.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
And if there's more Nintendo, then there will inevitably be more Mario, more Zelda, more Metroid, more whatever. So I'm glad that they're doing as well as they are, because in the end it's good for Nintendo. But
I really hope before this goes live on Wednesday that we are way out of date and Nintendo has announced that there's a Direct coming this week. This is getting ridiculous. It's as ridiculous, not as ridiculous, but it's almost as ridiculous as Xbox and Sony not giving days and dates and prices of release for these stupid next-gen systems. I don't know. I know Nintendo's been hit hard by the pandemic over there and everything, and apparently they were wanting to go in June at E3. Pandemic screwed everything up. That's why something just got announced, on Twitter the other day. We'll cover that in the wrap-up, but man, this is Mario's 35th anniversary. Just tell us when it's out so I can buy it. I'll even if it's just Sunshine at this point. Sunshine remastered, $60. F it. Whatever. Wahoo it. I don't even care. Just give me Mario, man. I want to play Mario 64 remastered so bad, as well as Galaxy. And Sunshine, if it's in the pack, then I'll play it. But They have to do something. And they've got, at some point, they have to give us a friggin' trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. I don't know if it's Zelda GIF or Zelda Universe that does it, but they tweeted the other day that it's been 424 days since the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. We've seen literally nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it was E3.
It was E3 last year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, all that did was say, hey, it's coming. Well, yeah.
It's coming,
we knew
but
it was.
It's coming in March.
I don't know that any of that was even in the game. That's just like, hey, here's some Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's coming in March. I'm telling you. That'll be 4 years. Same engine, same world. What the hell? What are you taking so long for? Just freaking do it. Bacardi and Coke. Just do it.
Yeah.
They made Majora's Mask in a friggin' year. You can make this in 4 years.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
And then have Horizon Forbidden West come
still
out a week
say
later.
I don't know that I want.
I know. No, I just want. I want it.
I don't really.
But I
want
want it to be different.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Like, I want more Zelda. I'm not sure that I want just more Breath of the Wild.
No, I agree.
I mean, I'll be over the moon. I don't care what it is. I'm still
when
gonna
they
go
show
crazy.
it, they'll be like,
but
"Ah!"
still, like, I don't know.
Oh, Jeff Grubb tweeted the other day. He said, "Why doesn't Nintendo just put Link Between Worlds HD on Switch and just win Game of the Year?" I said, "Please God, yes." If they announced that, if they were like randomly on a Tuesday, yeah, Link Between Worlds remastered coming to Switch in September, my mind would explode, and I would 100% that game.
Well, wasn't it at that same one that they were like, oh, by the way, Link's Awakening HD remake? Whatever. Wasn't it the same? Or was that at a different event?
No, that was a separate. That was like in March, I think.
Really?
March of last year, I think. It was like 6 months before it came out. I'm pretty sure that wasn't.
I didn't
E3.
even think it was.
But
that
then I
long
think at
before
E3 that's when we actually got gameplay of it. I think at first we got the trailer in like March. E3 we got gameplay, and then it came out in September.
Okay, yeah, that may be right.
We have plenty of time. We got a month before Link Between Worlds comes out in HD. I'm happy. In all seriousness, like, I don't get Animal Crossing. I won't. If someone gave me the game, I wouldn't play it. But for the people that like it, I'm happy for you. I'm happy it sold 22. By the end of this quarter, it'll sell more than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that blows my mind because that's an actual video game that is fun. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to be mean. I didn't say it, but in my head, I said I wasn't going to be mean. All right, Sean, it's time for the wrap up. Microsoft announced that xCloud is launching officially on September 15th. There will be no iOS support apparently anytime because did you hear about this? Yeah. Because Apple says that basically no, every game that you have on xCloud should have to go through our approval process to be able to be played on an iOS device. And they're like, F you. And Apple's like, well, no, F you. And they're like, well, okay. So it's not coming. I'm heartbroken, of course, that I can't play it on my iPhone. But I will say 8-Bit Dough has put out this beautiful looking, it looks like my, no, that's the SNES controller. The one I have downstairs that I use on my Switch.
Yeah.
The Xbox looking one in like glossy black. It looks so good. And they've got the clip to play on your phone, whatever, but no iOS support. There will be over 100 games supported, including at launch, including Destiny 2, Gears 5, some Halo games, Killer Instinct, and more. Also, it's cool that Xbox finally listened to everybody and they've removed the ugly Series X giant badge off the front of boxes. Grand Theft Auto 5 has now sold 135 million copies. 135. Minecraft is still just listed at 200. Obviously, it's more than that by now. But I'm like, is there a chance? Can they do it?
It's going to sell a lot more. There's no way.
There's no way. It would have to sell 100 million from now. Because you got to think Minecraft's been at 200 million for like a year. Like they're probably at 220. Like I've probably bought it. I've bought it like 3 times for my kids, I think. Maybe 4 if you count the iPads, or 5. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But they did also announce, Rockstar announced that it will be releasing on next gen in the second half of 2021. So you got a lot of time to build up that bank account because that's when GTA Online is coming as well. It seems like that's not going to be coming sooner than GTA 5 on next gen.
Yeah.
There will be a range of technical, visual, and performance upgrades if you get GTA 5 on next gen.
I'm curious to see what that ends up being.
They're going to make me buy it again.
I'll buy it. I already know I'm going to buy it again.
No, why?
What do you mean, why?
GTA Online's going to be free. It's going to be standalone. Remember? But I'm dumb enough. I've already beat the campaign twice. I'm going to beat it a third time.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't really need to.
No, but I will because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Activision did confirm that Call of Duty 2020 is being developed by Treyarch along with Raven. This was already leaked last week on a Doritos bag as being Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which we know it is. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is out October 30th. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On Switch, that's his birthday. It will have new difficulty modes, new new side missions, and all the previous DLC will be included. Have you ever played a Pikmin?
I don't know.
Apparently, it's
Anything
I heard
about
somebody
it.
saying today it's real-time strategy. I was like, well, I thought it was like a Lemmings game. I don't know anything about this game.
I don't know.
People love it. I know I'm missing the boat, but if it's real-time strategy, then I will forever miss that boat.
You will forever miss that boat?
Yeah, because I'm not going to play a real-time strategy game.
Oh. But what would make you play Pikmin?
If it was a platformer.
Oh, well, I know it's not that.
Then-
But I don't know. Well, actually, I couldn't say that. I don't know what it is, but...
But it's ridiculous that these these Wii U re-releases on Switch are $60. That is ridiculous. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze should have been $40. This should be $40. Mario U Deluxe probably should have been $40. Although I feel
That's
like
true.
I got my money's worth at $60 because it's a Mario game. But like Link's Awakening, that doesn't count. But that should have been a $40 game also. The Pikmin 3 should not be $60. But it's Nintendo. Y'all gonna pay it.
That's true.
And I love Nintendo, but whatever. It was announced that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 has now sold over 5 million copies on PS4.
That seems like it's just so weird, like hearing that Animal Crossing is sold 20 whatever, and GTA has sold 135 million, and Final Fantasy, granted, it's only been like 6 months, but like 5 months. It's like 5 million.
But still, 5
I mean,
million.
that's good, but it's also like
I know.
it's just weird.
But I
the
think it's-
spectrum is just so big.
I think it sold more in this time frame than Final Fantasy 15 did, being on everything. But I could be completely making that up. Foot noise. The Resident Evil series has now sold over 100 million copies, so that's cool. Bethesda announced that Doom Eternal and Elder Scrolls Online, hell yes, are getting free PS5 and Series X upgrades when
That was
the
pretty
consoles
convincing.
launch. Maybe that's when I'll finally beat Doom Eternal. Spruce it up, make it prettier on my PS5, and I'll just download it again and pick up from where I was, and I'll just have like, I don't even remember how to play this game.
So did you just stop liking it, or were you just like, I like this, but I can't beat it?
I liked it, but I was like, I might be able to beat it, but I'm not very good. And Last of Us is about to come out. Or maybe Top Run came out then. Something else
that
came
was
out.
long before Last of Us.
No, it came out in March. Yeah. Oh, Final Fantasy.
Oh.
It was like 2 weeks before Final Fantasy, and then I was done. That's what it was. But I could see myself getting back into it. I really like it. It's higher on my list than it should be, only beating like 2 levels or whatever it is. Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is getting Xbox One and PC crossplay, custom browser, and mouse and keyboard support by the end of 2020.
When does NPC crossplay?
Xbone and PC. Non-playable.
That's what I was so confused. Like,
You can play as one of the foxes jumping.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, how would that work?
I can't wait to listen to that back and see if I just screw that up.
Oh, but do you remember Alone in the Dark?
I'm like, what the hell are we talking? I literally just said Alone in the Dark.
All right, moving on.
Street Fighter V is getting Dan, everybody's favorite player, Rose, which honestly I thought she was already in Street Fighter V, apparently not. Oro and Akira Kazama, who's actually from Capcom's Rival Schools series, and one more unannounced player over the next year coming to Street Fighter V. Apparently Street Fighter VI was supposed to come out next year, and there's rumors saying it's been delayed. And then it got announced today.
Yeah.
What's his?
I have no idea.
But he's leaving Capcom, so I think now Street Fighter VI is probably like 2 years away. Because he was the godfather over there, but yeah. PlayStation Now in August is getting Hitman 2, Dead Cells, and Greedfall. Every time I see Greedfall, I'm like, Godfall's already out? I thought it was a PS5 exclusive. And that's it for the wrap-up. And that's it for episode 195. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you didn't know, we are part of the Nerd 901 family, so go to nerd901.com, where they're connecting nerds across the multiverse, the Mid-South, and the multiverse. Also, check out Ernie, the Blur Without Fear, youtube.com/Blur Without Fear, and twitch.tv/Blur Without Fear. Obviously, you can find us on Twitter. I am tired. We've been out in the sun too much this weekend. And then I was in the pool for like 2 hours after that. I'm at Kevin White on Twitter. He's at Real Sean White. Together we're at 2player_co-op. I'm just wondering if they'll think it froze. Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, audio services around the multiverse. We have a Facebook page. We don't update it, but thank you all for liking it. We will be next. We will be Bug Snacks. We will be back next week, but until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.